log in, and as a user, you can request features and stuff. And John was kind of frustrated with some work that he wasn't able to get prioritized internally, and then mysteriously, this character by the name of Not John showed up on the forums and started asking all these questions, and suddenly these things got priority because they were coming from somebody outside of the company. And I was really disappointed to discover that Not John was actually not John in disguise. I really wanted that to be the case, where it was just John in a wig with a fake mustache showing up. But it wasn't.
Does that make that person's deception a really high roll or a really low roll?
I'm not sure. I mean, it worked, so high.
Yeah, I guess he had you fooled.
The intention.
Yeah.
I saw something on the internet about a person who took a debt collection job, and this was another employee, and they said, new guy, trained him up a couple of days. Third day, he showed him to his actual desk and got him logged into the system, and then after about 2 hours, dude stood up and walked out the door. Didn't say anything to anybody. They're like, what is going on? They realized that he had joined the debt collection agency, gone through the training, and then deleted his debt and then left.
Ooh. Hold on, let me make a note.
Clever. Yeah. I'm scribbling that down too.
I have debt I would like for to be gone.
Right.
I think you'll find that they've
I know what to do.
Close that particular loophole.
Right.
Is it named after the guy at least? Because that would be worth it as well. I mean, as if he didn't already get enough worth out of erasing his debt entirely.
Right.
The John Smith loop.
We call that we call it reverse Adkins.
Reverse Adkins.
I don't know what to make of that, honestly.
I mean,
but it's working.
Adjust note.
Jamie, is that a new mic? It looks like a new mic.
No.
Okay. Just looks fancy. I didn't know if it was new or not.
No, same. I've had this one for a little while. I don't know how long. I almost got one of the Shure. What's the crazy podcast? This SM7B.
The SM7B.
Yeah, I
That's.
I have an annoying habit of checking Facebook Marketplace, and I saw it, and it said no, not that one.
I'm sure this is Shure.
Yeah, I mean that's a Shure.
Yeah, that's
57,
same as
58?
mine.
Yeah,
this is my Tree 50.
Yeah, Tree
58.
But yeah, I saw the SM7B, and I was like, ooh, and it, and immediately sent the message. It was within an hour, and the guy said that he had 4 messages within 20 minutes of posting it. So,
wow.
Yeah, people are watching it, but he had listed it for $100, and it's a $300 or $400 microphone. So yeah,
I'll do it.
Yeah, but it would have been nice.
That's the one where you have to basically climb inside of it for it to pick you up. So that's anything I worry about, like on a stream, is that you kind of have to get like right up inside the damn thing in order to be heard.
Very NPR.
So that reminds me, I've been listening to this podcast about starting up your own practice and things like that, and there are these. It's 2 doctors, a psychiatrist and a PsyD, which is a psychologist, and they're just discussing the ups and downs and the things you don't think about starting a practice and yada yada. And it's short, like 16-minute episodes, maybe 30 total episodes. They sound so NPR. It's like, hi, Janice. I'm so excited to see you. Oh, hi, Dave. Me too. I just can't contain my excitement. Oh, this is so nice. It's nice to talk to you too. What are we talking about today? I mean, it's just, oh my God, it's the most anemic thing I've ever heard. But they've got good knowledge. Like they've got good things to say. But I'm just like, ugh. I mean, if I could stay awake during your whisperings to each other, it's just so like, and you nailed it. NPR is like, hi, we're going to talk about this exciting thing. I'm so excited right now.
Have you seen the Alec Baldwin Saturday Night Live
Sweaty
skit
balls?
The sweaty balls.
Oh yeah. That's exactly what it reminded me of.
Well, I felt like it sounded like some sort of Saturday Night Live skit, but I didn't know. Is that what that is?
Yeah, it's an SNL skit. It's really good.
Well, give me your rendition of it.
No.
No.
I won't do that. You can look it up though, and you'll understand why I won't do that.
Hang on.
I don't want Baldwin's lawyers coming after me.
I don't need that.
You don't want Baldwin coming after you.
Yeah, right.
No. My wife got into a fight on Twitter with Adam Baldwin once.
Oh shit.
Over what?
Which one's that one?
That's the Firefly
That's-
Baldwin.
Yeah, that's the Firefly Baldwin that's not related to the other Baldwins. He's a
Oh, the
separate.
crazy one.
Yeah. Don't say
Well,
that,
what?
Matt. He'll fight you.
Be careful.
Well, I don't want to damage his calm.
I don't want.
Don't yuck his yum.
I don't want to. I don't want to slander the guy.
But I've heard that, yeah.
I love that. She's damaging my calm is one of my favorite lines from any movie ever.
Me too. I love that.
She's beginning to damage.
Actually, a
my
lot
calm.
of his lines are some of my favorite. I mean, from the TV series and the movie, Jane steals the show especially that one. I think it's definitely on the TV show or the series where they go to the planet where they like idolize him,
Janestown.
and they've got the Janestown. They got the statue. It's so great. It's like I don't know. I can't do it justice, but that's one of my favorite episodes.
You have the classic "I'll be in my bunk." It's just like communicates everything in very few words, and all by implication. It's
when the
super
doctor
great line.
is explaining how he could say a few words and put her to sleep. He's like, all I have to say is, he's like, don't say it now, God.
Yeah.
It'll work on you, dumbass. It's so funny.
And now I want to rewatch Firefly.
I know. I do.
Yeah.
It's a necessity. I need to watch the TV show. Firefly. Yeah.
Good,
So
good,
good.
sad news. It won't take very long.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, I keep hearing people say, like, we need a reboot. I'm like, these people are retired now. It's been 20 years.
Yeah,
you can't do a reboot.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Of course, I don't know. I'd watch anything with Nathan Fillion. So Firefly is so
Fair.
good.
I just finished the last season of The Rookie. Have you seen that one with him as the LAPD rookie? As a 40-year-old
I like
LAPD rookie. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
What's it on? Oh, what's the streaming on?
Yeah, the internet.
The internet.
I don't know.
You know the internet.
Yeah, but I watch
I think
it
it's
so legally
ABC
that I
show,
forget.
so.
Yeah,
I do my rotations, so
yeah. I don't remember.
Hulu, Cowart says. Thank you, Hulu.
thank you.
Thank you, Cowart.
Thank you, Cowart. Yeah.
I have Hulu, so I'll check it out.
Yeah.
Actually, I have Hulu now
That's good
because it's free through Spotify. I've had Spotify for years, and I just recently found out you get Hulu for free if you have
Oh,
Spotify.
Sweet.
Nice.
Yeah, Papa said Castle and The Rookie with him are really good. I really enjoyed Castle, at least the first.
Castle is
little bit
very,
of it.
very good.
There's the one Halloween episode where they show him doing the suit up thing, and he puts the pistol and he flips the coat over his shoulders, and he turns around and he's in the Malcolm Reynolds outfit from Firefly. And I'm like, what are you wearing?
Did you guys watch Dr. Horrible's sing-along vlog?
Yes.
It's
Yes.
the only musical thing in existence that I thoroughly enjoy and watch multiple times. It's fantastic.
We have
This calls for an operation. Find Adkins another musical.
yes.
Scott, man, listen,
Yeah.
my hell is frozen over and everybody's singing and dancing, including me. Like, it's just what it is.
No Little Shop of Horrors. I would have thought that'd be well up your alley.
I mean, I've seen the play a few times because I have students that are into that kind of stuff, and it's enjoyable. Like, but it's not something that I'm like, you know what? I feel like watching Little Shop of Horrors. Like, not even the Rick Moranis version draws me in. You know,
I was
like,
going to
it's just
say,
like,
and
Surprising.
I don't know how, because watching Rick Moranis belt out, Downtown or Suddenly Seymour is it's an experience. It's a
It
thing
is.
that I can't.
musicals aren't my thing. Like, I love horror movies, and like recently I had this discussion with somebody that, like, if I could pick a genre to live in, it probably wouldn't be horror, but it absolutely wouldn't be musical, because the scariest
I
thing
wish
that
I
could
lived in the
happen
Hellraiser
is,
world.
like, I'm sitting in a room in my house, and if somebody broke into song and dance in my neighbor's yard, I would have to get up. I would know all the lyrics and the choreography, and I would have to participate. It's the most asinine idea concept for like a narrative, like how a world works. And it's just, I'm telling you, it's my hell. My hell is cold and it's a musical.
Don't show this guy Frozen.
There's a Broadway play, Broadway musical series that comes to Knoxville every year, and it's like six or eight. I don't remember how many it is, but it's at least 6 plays every year from the touring Broadway company, as far as I know. And this year they had Hamilton, and so we knew it was coming, and we know people that have tickets and or the season tickets, and we're like, please, absolutely, get us tickets, and we'll pay you back. But it was absolutely amazing. And this year, I don't know, there's a new one.
He's pointing at me.
Yeah, okay, he finally figured it out. Yeah.
I'm looking at 2 different screens that have different like flip angles in there. I'm pointing at Rachel.
Hamilton.
Yeah.
I love Hamilton.
It's fantastic.
You got me to watch it, the original, and like it's a musical, and I don't like musicals, but I love this musical.
Yeah. It was amazing in person, and it was like I was in. I mean, just bopping along. I'm trying not to make any noise because I don't want to disturb anybody, but just
silently bop.
Yeah, silently
The
bop,
hardest
and
part.
laughing at stuff that's happened.
Sounded bop 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 bop.
And during the intermission, somebody across the aisle from us, because I was on the end. Somebody across the aisle came up, and it was she's like, so I noticed you enjoying the show, and I was like, oh no, I've embarrassed, I'm bothering this person. She was just like, I'm so glad that you're sitting near me because everyone else is just stone still and they're not reacting to it at all. And she's like, I'm so glad that someone else is enjoying it just as much as me. But she said she'd seen it 6 times or 8 times or something like that. I was like, what?
Oh, she's got money.
Well, yeah. But she saw the original cast on Broadway. Like
that's ridiculous. Yeah, she's got money.
Just the King. The King makes it for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, the person they had doing the King was a bit more animated than Groff, like the guy you see.
It's hard to do.
Yeah, he was hilarious. It was good. Oh, Rocky Horror Picture Show. You don't like that one, Atkins?
Again, it's not something that I'm ever going to seek out. I understand that it's a classic, but musicals are just annoying to me, guys.
You don't like it. You don't like it.
Yeah,
so Rocky Horror is
not my flavor.
You got to have the people up on the stage doing their shenanigans while the movie goes to make Rocky Horror worth watching. I mean, otherwise it's a poorly done. Well, I mean, it's got what's this doofus from Legend?
Gary.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I knew somebody know
How
that
dare
name.
you?
I can't remember stuff. So, but I don't know. Having those, you gotta have 2. I got notes. You gotta have these 2 people on either side of the screen taking the turns because they play off each other, and I mean, I've seen it at conventions, game conventions, whatever, over and over again. And if I ever see that they're doing that Rocky Horror Live with people doing the thing, I have to see it because it makes it worthwhile. I've seen it without it, and I'm just like,
Meh.
I've only ever seen it on the small screen, so I've never experienced it with the whole schma.
It's an experience.
I bet it is.
It's something.
I bet it is. That's one of my favorite things that happens is if I go to something like that and people are kind of into it, not like disrupting the the whatever that you're watching, but like opening night to a big movie, people are cheering and stuff like that. I think that's good as long as everybody's like backing it down. But I remember we went, and it's been a while, but the first Transformers live action movie, there's a bunch of nerds in there going to go see it, and the people are laughing like, oh, stuff like that, and then they what's his name says the line, "You're more than meets the eye," and everyone in the entire theater goes, "Oh!" It was amazing.
Yeah. Speaking of Transformers, the best Transformer movie is the Transformers movie with all the best actors voicing. It was 86. Yes. Orson Welles.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, who else?
Eric
had
Idle.
Spock. God, he played Galvatron.
Yeah.
I think he voiced Galvatron.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
that movie is just a masterpiece. It's so good, and they die. Like there are Transformers that die.
Yeah.
Like
Spoilers.
they've had 40
You didn't
years.
say who.
So
I still don't want to spoil it for people that haven't managed to.
okay, well, fair enough.
To,
But
to get that
Orson
information.
Welles in a cartoon. What
It's
else do you need?
crazy.
Yeah.
Judd Nelson.
Chet Nelson. Who's Judd?
And the guy from the Micro Machines.
Yeah, Blur. Yeah.
Blur,
Yeah,
playing Blur.
Eric Idle.
And
You-
Ball Wheat, Grana Wheat, Ninny
you
Bond.
may not
Like,
be able
I
to-
remember that. Why do I remember that? I remember that.
You may not be able to tell with the light off, but right,
It's very specific.
but right behind me is a I don't know. It's about a 16-inch Devastator back on that shelf right there.
Nice.
Yeah. It's
It's like,
Also,
Huh?
also the phrase "behind me on the shelf is a 16-inch Devastator" could be taken away out of
That might be
Oh,
private.
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Right.
That's on the different podcast, my friends.
As we say on the Almighty podcast, it's not that kind of anime.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
What going on tonight?
Oh boy.
So how's everybody been doing? How's everybody been doing? I'm excited to see
No,
you again.
stop it.
Okay.
So
Oh.
just as an aside, I've been watching. There's a streamer that I hang out when they're online, and they've got you redeem the bits or whatever it is, the little channel points, and one of them is to do an NPR voice, and she leans in and she'll read like the lore of Ferngully was probably my first exposure to him in general, but she's got a very very well curated NPR voice. It's funny.
I heard somebody's gullet.
What happened?
I don't know. The smack noises of ASMR. Yeah.
Oh no.
Do I need to get out
So-
of the microphone?
Good bit of information. Don't let your
Conscious
children
being
listen
right?
to ASMR.
Why?
Just let them. It depends on the ASMR, I guess. But from a psychiatric point of view, it's probably better off that they don't get pleasure from hearing mouth sounds or other weird sounds like that.
Oh,
Is
I
it-
don't even really know what it is.
ASMR, just
I know it's like people listening to kind of quiet noises, but
Or satisfying sounds. They don't necessarily have to be muted.
So we play D&D, and
Yay!
we missed
Get
3
me out of this
weeks.
hellhole.
We had people out of town, people with migraines, and then we had people out of town for work and whatnot. So it's been a month. It's been a month since we played last.
mhm.
So I've got a new mic set up. So bear with
You're
me
gonna
as I
bonk
figure out. I'm going to bonk the crap out of it all night.
Yeah, got it.
Try to
you
figure
got
out the best.
new mic setup.
How far do you go? So somebody tell me what happened the last time that we played, which was last month. And
Take it away, Rachel.
Rachel.
No,
Go for it.
thanks. No, I don't want to
Well,
do it.
No, see, but you stood out in the crowd and you did something.
But
quite
I don't have
interesting.
good notes. Mike has good notes.
Well, this could be a group effort. This will be like a skill challenge. All 4 of you can chime in
I don't-
and discuss what it was that's happened. Really, since you got back from, let's say, since you got back to Cauldron, bring everybody up to speed. It has been a month, so kind of
Oh God.
like a 2-minute, not like a whole episode of. We did that a couple episodes ago.
I still vote Mike.
You guys met your stalker.
So we'll start there. How about
Yeah.
that? You met Spetro. Let's start with Spetro. Spetro met you guys in the drunken Morkoth and go.
I tugged on a tunic and ate my fill, even though, and you guys don't know this, but I do have lots of money. I was just letting you guys pay for stuff.
That's okay.
Yeah,
We don't.
Tarathiel
we-
felt bad because you had signs of being a prisoner. I
Mhm.
think you had money.
Yeah, well, and once you guys
Medical
said patron,
scars,
I was like, well, I'm not spending my money. That seems crazy.
Seems silly.
That's fair. I mean, we have too much money, so really it's a tax write-off for us.
I see.
Feeding. I would like a receipt for feeding Spectra.
Well, I don't want to go down like a whole new tangent, but like I've been reading over and over again more and more that once you get past like a certain level, let's call it tier 2, money has no meaning in D&D anymore. There's no real reason to have money,
Yes, there is.
right? I mean, why is that?
Buy more equipment, better armor, better weapons.
But
That's a fighter.
That's a magic though. Like a lot of DMs don't have the ability to purchase magic. You just find it as you go. Like at your level, guys should have like 10,000 gold. What are you gonna do with that? I mean,
I don't have that much.
I don't know how to tell you this, but in real life, that is also true.
we have more money than you spend.
Unless you're trying to purchase magic armor, you don't need more money.
Right. I just want to get to the point to where I don't need the magic armor anymore. So anyway, continue. I didn't mean to do that tangent. I've been doing a lot of DM like podcasts and ideas, and we had a discussion on Discord about increasing difficulty if you don't have specific proficiency in the knowledge skill. And I was tossing that idea around, but it seems like it punishes Farazan because all of a sudden he's Mensa. So, anyway, Spectro shows up.
Yeah, Jackery.
Yeah, okay. So
oh, go ahead, Mike. You got the notes. I'm just winging it.
Cool. We did talk to Jackery. We talked to Jenya. We talked to a few different people about the upcoming gathering, the demonstration that was going to be happening in front of the barracks, right?
The town hall.
The town hall.
Which is all of those things
that
together in a compound. That's right. So
as a result of the high taxes.
Taxes in the city have been steadily going up. A lot of the guards have been replaced with half-orcs that have been brought into the city by somebody, and we were aware of some of that. And then a guy by the name of Alec Tercival, who people have varying opinions on, but he kind of publicly challenged Tercion Skellerang, publicly challenged Tercion for the right to be the guard captain or something. But the city council kept that challenge quiet, and Tercival seems to have not shown up. But we do know that he'd been meeting with Marvu in Red Gorge, nearby town.
Yes.
And the guard is planning on marching on Red Gorge, right?
A police action on Red Gorge.
Police action.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
That's it. Alma talked to Baori, found out that Tercival is alive. He might need our help, but it's not clear, and that we have 3 days before the police action in Red Gorge starts. So we went to hang out by this protest to just be present in case something bad happened. There was a bunch of people. Spectro and Tarathiel went over the crowds, and Farazan went through the crowds. From memory, is what I have written down.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Marvu showed up and gave a big speech to the crowd about how effectively leadership sucks and we need new leadership. And then guards showed up and attempted to arrest Marvu. There was massive disruption in the crowd, and people started to fight, which we were kind of in the process of trying to de-escalate.
Yeah.
And then Alma solves everybody's problems by faking Marvu's death.
Oh no.
So Alma,
And trying to blame it on the gods.
Blame it on me. It's a bad choice.
let's take a half step back. Alma, so during this time, you go to the group of guards that have the guard captain who's trying to arrest Mavu, and you're going to go and be this figure of Baori in the city of Cauldron, and you fall flat, which is the beginning of a beautiful situation.
Yeah.
Then what happened?
Well, I ran across through the crowd,
Mhm.
so I failed kind of that persuasion, which I typically do, and I ran back across the crowd, and I did ask Marvu, because with the spell that I casted, I was like, just go with it, basically. Pretend like you're dying. And he did. And my plan was to blame it on the bad guys that were attacking them, and kind of get him into a place where, because feign death only lasts for an hour.
Feign death.
Yeah.
That's the key. Feign
There
death.
it is.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you
by
said,
anybody else's view upon what this is, he's dead. And so I think in the middle of what I was doing, like you had said, like people looked and they were like, "Oh, she killed him," and I was like, "No, he succumbed to the wounds of the people who were attacking him. I can fix him. I'll make him better." And I'm holding him.
and you had to make a skill check, which was medicine.
Yeah.
Basically describe like, oh, he's having a heart attack, or he's
Right.
flipping inside out, and you rolled a 24,
Which is pretty good.
That is
She says, hopefully.
pretty good. And that's the end of your turn. Let me find my sheet because I forgot who's next. Where'd it go? It's right here. Oh, here we go.
Oh God.
Farazan goes last.
Sorry. Huh?
I said Farazan goes last.
Farazan does go last. So the people, you make this medicine check, right? And DM never expects a natural 20 or a 19 on a really obscure, weird check that to just give you to appease the player and give you a chance to roll something. However, you rolled a 24 on this medicine check, and what you've done is you've run out of the crowd, and Marvin, you grab him, and he just falls and collapses, and he goes, "Oh, my heart has been cleft in twain," and you ease him to the ground, and everyone's like, "She killed him," and you stand up and go, "No, it was the consumption, and he's got ghosts, and we're giving cocaine about it."
Yeah.
And they're all like, "You're right. You're absolutely right, because we don't know what you're talking about." So the end of your turn, you finish by saying something along the lines of, Mavu has fallen subject to some evil curse and blah, blah, blah. Because you describe he was being beaten, and people around the area were seeing him being pummeled, and there was nothing there, but blood was being shed. Like you'd be punched in the mouth and blood would fly to the side, but there's nothing there that's doing it. And I know, Invisible's unseen, blah, blah, blah. But literally, the guy's just getting the crap beat out of him, knocked out, healed, knocked out again. Something's going on, and you're just like, the curses have him. And the people around you are just, yeah, oh gosh, Mavu's. So who's attacking Mavu? Like, what's going on with Mavu? Mavu's on our side. He's trying to get the taxes down. Who's after Mavu? Tarathiel, it's your
turn. I just will delay. I'm just waiting to see what is happening.
Okay, so within a good 15-foot radius from Alma, the people have calmed down. You've got this riot that's just slowly boiling, and it's pretty bad down around where Farazan and Spitro are, because that's where the orcs are, and they're fighting, and the half orcs are doing their best to not hurt anybody, but you can tell they're over it. But around you, everybody's calming down, and some people come over to see if they can help. There's a mosh pit, according to Cowart, around where Spitro and Farazan are. But to your knowledge, you don't really have Arcana or Spellcraft or anything like that. Alma just ran over to Mavu and just laid him out. He is dead on the ground. But I'm not going to make you roll a check. You could overhear her saying to him, "Hey, go along with this. Hey, go along with me." So there's, oh shoot, I just moved a whole handful. There is kind of the information around you. And this guy, his buddy, who ran out of the town hall, is now standing, kneeling beside him, going, "Oh my God, he was just fine. What's going on?" But he too, when Alma yells this out, like, something, there's a curse upon him or something like that. He goes, "Oh God, well, what can I do?" He's like trying to help, and that's kind of the general feel around you, as everybody's wanting to help Mavu out.
Actually, I do have something that I would like to do. So,
Go for it.
one thing that I missed out of the recap is that Kazmajan and Zakad are in the crowd.
They are.
I want to track them.
All right, give me a perception check. 27.
Good
Good
lord.
tabs. 27.
That'll do.
Jeez.
Right there. I moved him a little bit by accident, but he is right in the middle of the crowd, maybe 40, 50 feet away. He and Zakad, Kazmajan and Zakad, are both moving their way away from
They're moving away.
the fighting. Like they were, so you had seen them earlier, and they were just kind of part of the crowd, like taking everything in. And I want to say that I told somebody they noticed that they were both kind of shocked. They weren't expecting this either. And then when all this fighting breaks out, and also remember, down at the left side of the map and at the right side of the map, you've got other patrols of half-orc guards moving in slowly. They're not weapons out, shields up, trying to get through the crowd, trying to calm things down, but they're kind of pinching in on where you are. Considering you also get this third group down here with the one that I'm not sure if he named himself, but his name is Skylar. He's the guard captain with these other half orcs, where Spetro and Farazan are. But you do see him down here.
Yeah, if it looks like the crowd around Elmer is calm to a certain extent,
very. They're now like trying to help.
I want to climb up on top of this building and effectively track. I wanted to tail them. See where they're going.
So you have a line of sight. You've got him perfectly dead to rights where you are right now. You can see him perfectly, and that was just cool. That was in barely a move to get on top. That was a move to get up there.
I will dash then and just continue down the rooftops to keep an eye on them.
Okay. Anything else?
No, I just want to split the party for dramatic purposes.
Perfect. I love it.
Awesome.
All right. Farazan. You're up. So a reminder, you've got these 6 half-orc guards who've kind of formed a perimeter around this guard captain. And you've got Spetro, which you've seen. He flew in, he landed beside the captain. And it was a little bit of miscommunication. He was thinking it was a tax collector, but when he realized it was just this captain, he crawled between the legs of one of the half-orcs and joined you. And the last thing that you were doing was you were holding this great staff up, and thematically, but you're using it to kind of hold the crowd back, kind of push the half-orcs back, and you got Spetro at your flank helping you out. Not quite sure what he's doing yet, but he's moved to help you do what you're doing. Still, the half-orcs have not attacked anybody yet.
Okay. Farazan's going to single out the captain, Skylar. He's going to kind of push toward him, not like hurting the people in between him. But actually, what is he? 10 feet from him right now?
Yeah, there's a phalanx of half-orcs between you and him also.
Okay. Yeah, so he's going to try to make sure that guy is front and center, presenting him his largeness to the captain, and he's going to pull out the staff and just kind of vertically and kind of smash it to the ground. And I was wondering if I could use a cantrip for dramatic flair instead of damage.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Fireball? No. So, real quick, I'm seeing in chat there's some sort of. Is there an issue about the sound?
No. There's the Sirenscape is crowd noise, so I'm trying. But I try to keep it at a low enough
Gotcha.
that
Okay.
it's not. But I was messing with the level. And I was trying to make sure that everybody was all good.
All right. So, cantrip for dramatic effect. What
Yes.
cantrip are you thinking about?
Hold on. I like every good player. I had everything ready. So
Until it was time.
Yeah, until it was time. But probably can't do like Thunder Wave.
I wouldn't
that-
suggest it.
Yeah, that's probably too much. But I don't know, like a somewhat controlled mold earth, just down on the ground to kind of shake the ground a little bit, kind of underneath him. And
So,
kind
I
of
don't think the spells
emphasize-
come up on the pocket. Talk to me about Mold Earth.
Okay. It's a instantaneous cantrip, and you can excavate in a 5-foot cube. You can cause shapes, colors, or both to appear in the stone and dirt, which will last an hour. Make it spell out words, creating images and patterns, things like that. Or you can cause a bit of the ground in a 5-foot area to be difficult terrain.
Gotcha. Okay.
So it's not a big thing, but I was just kind of wanting it to use it to sort of emphasize that he's got some ability more than just strength behind
So
him.
tell me what you like to do with it.
What I'd like to do is just affect the ground underneath him and just kind of make it do a little bit of a wave sort of thing, but bring the staff down and sort of raise him up to his level. Maybe actually, yeah, that's a even better idea. Lift him up so that he's eye level with Farazan. Look at me, look at you.
So you're wanting to build a 5-foot. You want to raise the earth 5 feet underneath the sergeant.
Yeah, so that he's eye level with Farazan.
Okay, yeah.
And then
Yeah.
then I want to make an intimidate check to tell him to back down.
Okay, I'm going to give him a reflex save just to.
Okay.
I'm not even sure if he wants to, because then he'll have the high ground and he can cut your arms and legs off. So
Yeah.
no, he's gonna accept it. Like you slam your staff down the ground and the earth beneath him just raises up.
Mhm.
And okay, yeah, it happens. And he doesn't try to move. He just takes it with him, and he's like, "Haha, I have the high ground."
So Farazan will then kind of gesture at him, and then he will say, "You need to call off your forces before this escalates and someone gets hurt."
Can
And
I aid
wanna-
with a yeah? What you
Yes.
said.
Yes. And actually,
Roll a yeah
this
check.
gigantic Goliath with a massive tree trunk of a staff who slams it down and causes the earth to raise 5 feet up. And he goes and he hears a yeah, and he looks at you. Yeah.
I said
Oh my
what he
goodness.
said.
Give me an intimidation check. I'll give you advantage.
Okay, intimidation with not that one. Advantage. Oh, jeez, 13.
13. All right. Not terrible. Let me give it a behind the screen. Okay. So you say you do all this, and you make this production, and he raises up and he crouches down to kind of protect his ankles. He's got his sword up, but he's, again, like I said, they're not really fighting anybody.
Mhm.
And he just looks at you and he's like, "I'm here rightfully. Mavu has broken the law. It is by the order of the Lord Mayor that I take him into custody for the crimes he's committed. Why are you fighting me? You're the heroes of Cauldron. I have the right and the responsibility to take criminals into justice."
I don't remember what Mavu said. What all he was saying.
So
about.
okay. So
Mafe was saying that that Tercival had a right to fight for this place, right?
Yeah.
Yep. So there was a
That's
challenge
my
presented
understanding.
based on like these ancient laws of Cauldron, that if somebody who was a part of the original families, the noble families, they could challenge anybody for the position, for positions of power in the city, like the guard captain, up to a certain point, not like the Lord Mayor, but um, so the idea is that Tercival was well within his rights to challenge the guard captain. But
I mean,
when
he
Go
outright
ahead.
said like they're collecting your taxes, but they're not using them to help you, and
Mhm.
that Cauldron needs new leadership, I believe is what he said.
Right. He
Mhm.
did. He did. I don't remember what I said, but that sounds maybe better than
That's-
what I said. Nice cat.
We'll
about
go
right.
with that.
They're bad. We are good.
But when the sergeant ran up, he said, "You're under arrest for." I'm not sure that he actually yelled
He didn't
the
read charges.
right. He just said, "You're under arrest by under the order of the Lord Mayor." Does that help?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's, so Farazan, if that's as much as we can get done in the round, that's fine. I can wait. But if he can respond,
You can respond. Go ahead and respond.
yeah. So he'll say that the things that he said are true. The challenge was lawful, and your leadership is flawed. You should stand down until this works itself out.
Go ahead and give me a persuasion check,
Okay, persuasion.
Yeah.
Persuasion.
and then we will move on.
Can I roll use my inspiration?
Absolutely.
Sweet. Crossing everyone's fingers on the stream. Farazan
Don't cross
needs
the
a
streams.
new pairs of shoes.
Oh no.
Oh,
Oof.
12.
12.
12 is
Yes.
a respectable number,
Better than 7.
Yeah.
but it's Spetro's turn. Spetro's turn. Spetro's turn.
What does Spetro know about their relationship with the Lord Mayor? Like over the 3 months that I've been tailing them, have I seen them have any interactions? Are they on good terms? Is it a name that I can invoke? Like, hey, like they know the Lord Mayor, and like we request an audience. Is that something that he could do?
You're not quite sure. You know that they're heroes of the city. You know that they've been awarded medals of bravery, or by the Lord Mayor himself.
Okay.
But they never communicate with him. They never talk about going to see him during those 3 months. If anything, they talk about a Lord Vilantru, who's been their patron, who's been paying for their room and board, who's kind of been supporting them in their endeavors while they've been here. But as far as like the actual Lord Mayor, almost no connection, except for their presence in the town.
Okay. I mean, he's still new to all of the dynamics at play here. So I think what I'm going to do, just as he who knows little because he is little, is I'm just going to continue to kind of hold my ground. I'm getting the sense, especially from Farazan's actions, that there may be some ill intent that he suspects from the guards and from the person that they're protecting.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he's just going to kind of stay rooted. And
give me a insight check.
Insight. All right. Let's see. Rolling.
Roll better.
Did it translate?
I didn't see.
There it
it
goes.
is. 14.
Yeah, it did.
Okay. So this brief conversation between the sergeant and Farazan just now, you get the feeling that this sergeant believes in what he's doing. He feels like Mavu is actually a criminal. You don't know a whole lot of, like you said, you don't know a whole lot of background between them. But you feel like he thinks he's here for a lawful reason, if that helps in your decision making.
Okay. Yeah, I think that for now, like I said, I'm just going to kind of stay rooted, and be like defer. Like he's new. I think he's his read, like as Spectro, his read is these guys. I have a much better sense of. I've been stalking them, not this dude that's saying that he's here for all the right reasons.
Right.
And even like you were talking earlier, how the crowd was reacting to what's going on, and them kind of pushing back on the orcs. Like maybe even is guilty of going kind of with the crowds here. So I think he's just going to kind of root himself, and I don't know that there's like a hold action in 5e, right? It's just like I'm just going to not do something.
Yeah, you can prepare an action which will use a reaction, but also the crowd in this area are still pretty riled up. They're still like pushing. Imagine cops with the right shields, and then the protesters are now like throwing tomatoes at them or pushing back
Well,
against
remember
them.
when the misunderstanding took place earlier, I thought that the guards were roughing up this unarmed innocent dude, and so if they're continuing to rough up other unarmed innocents in the area, I'm still doing what I was doing, my last turn before I had to, climb between a half orc's crotch. So,
all right.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah.
Would you like to prepare any actions?
I mean, if the guards, if they get actually violent, then I will probably reflexively respond in kind. I guess I would. I'll just let's see. I wouldn't use my short sword right out of the gate. I guess I'll prepare some unarmed strikes if these guys start getting hairy.
And also, don't forget you don't have to take the action if you don't want to.
Sure.
If it's triggered. Okay. That was that. All right. So the half orcs are moving forward, and these two steps they move through the crowds quite easily. The one in front of Farazan, you two need to make an opposed athletics check because he's trying to push you. Like I said, like on the right shield, he's got his shield up. He's just trying to push the crowd back, and you are the crowd in front of him. So he's trying his best to push you back 5 feet to keep the phalanx going.
Right. Opposed athletics.
Correct.
Now I roll well.
Yeah, you do.
That's what you're good at.
All right, so he does. He gets a shield, and it's like a shield bash. Like I said, he's just pushing the crowd back, and he bucks up against you, and he can't get any leeway towards you, and he just looks up at you, and he's got this look about him because he recognizes you. He knows exactly who you are, and you get this feeling in his face is like, I have to do this, but I can't do this. Like kindergartner versus an NFL player trying to push the guard back. He's just doing this. And he's got this look of exasperation, or like, what do I do now? Well, I can't push Farazan back. But the other ones behind are moving up as well. And they're moving the crowd. No problem. The crowd moves out of their way. I'm going to clean some of this up so it's easier to see.
Oh no, here comes the crotch again.
Look out.
And so they all, except for the
you're
one...
flying though, right? So you might be at like chest height.
I landed.
They move forward. This one doesn't make any leeway, and you see him just kind of glance over to the sergeant. Didn't say anything, but it looks like he's looking for orders, kind of thing. But the sergeant doesn't seem to be paying attention. He's got his back on the half orc in front of him, just pushing his way through. He's got a sword. He's got a shield up, not a sword, but he's got his back on this half orc, pushing his way through the crowd, trying to get through to Mavu. Alma. It's your turn.
Okay. So I think my goal with that entire thing was to like kind of make a spectacle of like what the other would do to discredit this guy and to kill this guy. So I want to try to like, I'm holding his body and I want to try to just like move like over here, just in like sort of like a protective stance, like right here, maybe, if I could move with his body, and then just sort of like move to protect it.
So like pick him up and kind of carry him over there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, no problem. So he is, as far as anybody's concerned, he is dead. And if somebody checked him, they would see him as being dead.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I think this, I don't know if this happened in my head or if this happened, like I was saying, like I need to heal him. I can heal him. And I was kind of taking him over away from everybody so that I could kind of figure this out. Because what I meant to do was to be like, look at what the opposition would do to show, like, to stifle, an opposing, like a
Political
thought.
opponent kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. Like, look at what they're doing to say that there can't be anybody else here. And so that was kind of my that was my idea of my fake killing this man.
Okay.
Was to be like, oh no, like, look at what they would do to to shut another opinion up.
So by moving this direction, you're going down the pathway into the city hall.
I don't really want to
Wait.
go like into City Hall. I think I'm just trying to like just move away from the crowd. This crowd in this area you said was already kind of like, okay, like they were kind of on my side.
Yeah. So at this point, you've got him and you're lifting him up, and
Yeah.
it looks like you're trying to move his body, and some of the crowd are moving in, and
Yeah.
they're like, protecting you and Mavu. They're kind of making a shield wall around you, and they're pushing people back, like, stay back. She's trying to help him.
Yeah, I think that was definitely my goal. And if people weren't doing that, I would try to encourage that of like, okay, we need to move him over this way so that we can get him better. Like we need to, I need space so that I can heal him and get him back to right.
Okay, so show me where you want to go.
I want to
And all
go
this-
like.
I'm sorry, all this area here is all clear. There's nobody up here anymore.
All right, I'm gonna say like here,
Okay, so you're
just
dragging
a little bit.
Mavu a little
Yeah.
bit. All right.
But and I want him on the inside, like over here. Yeah.
Okay.
And then I'm just gonna, I'll just kind of encourage everybody. Like, I just need some space. I need to get him. I can heal him. I can fix this. That's it.
All right. Give me. So I'm going to let you choose. Give me a persuasion or a medicine check.
I'm taking medicine, 100%.
Okay. All right. Because that's what you used last round to convince people, like, hey, he's hurt or he's cursed and yada yada.
18.
18. All right. So you can see the resolve in the people around here, because they seem to be on the side of Mavu in the first place. Now they're blocking it off. Like, these people are stepping up. They're forcing back the people that are more violent, and you're starting to see a separation. So the people that are kind of in the riot mode are moving towards these half orcs, where the ones that are paying attention to what's going on with you are moving to protect you and Mavu. Well, not Tarathiel. He Spider-Man'd out, but the two of you
just ran away.
and this other
Okay.
guy who's just run down from inside the courthouse is moving along with you, and you see him.
Do I know him?
You don't recognize. Well, yeah, but you guys didn't remember him. This is James Spader. This is his supervisor over all of his affairs. You met him when the Hulk attacked. You met James Spader, and you met Daniel Jackson, who was just a common worker. But James Spader is here because he's friends with Mavu, and you can see him, like, you've got him and you're carrying him, maybe fireman style or however. But he's like trying to check him. And he's looking at you. He's like, I don't know if he's alive. Like, are you sure he's okay? He's very, very nervous about his employer.
I'll try to just reassure him as best I can. I'm not very persuasive, so I'm like, he's fine. He's good. He's all right.
Should
Pretty
try in carrying Mavu.
I'm serious. I'm like the least charismatic
Yeah.
person ever, and I'm like, he's good. Don't worry. Even though I've
that's-
already convinced all these people he's dead as hell.
See, that's why
So-
you're the
Charisma is
terror of Cauldron, not the love of Cauldron.
Yeah, it's
But you got an
true.
18 in medicine check, and he's like, okay, all right. But he's moving along with you.
Okay.
Seems very concerned.
All right.
Anything else?
No.
All right. Tarathiel, you've got an eye on... Oh, and I needed to move them a little bit because they move with the crowd. Give me 1 second. Kazmajen. and he's not running. He's not, in a hurry to get out of the way. He's just moving through the crowd, and he's a stubby little dwarf going through a thick crowd and not getting very far. But he's moved, again, like I said, he's not running. He's not dashing or anything like that.
I am kind of running across the rooftops and trying to keep him in sight. So
Yeah.
more or less, I want to get to the point where I see him leave the crowd and potentially have a confrontation.
Okay, I'm sorry. I was resizing, trying to get everything right. Tell me what you're doing again.
I want to get to the point where he is outside of the crowd and potentially be in a situation where I can confront him.
Okay, so I don't have quite as many icons here, but this is still pretty thick. Getting down about right here is where it gets thin to where it's no longer difficult terrain. So probably next round or two, they will have
Round or two,
moved down.
yep.
Yeah.
No worries.
Anything else?
I'm just continuing to run along.
Okay.
We still have the psychic connection, yeah?
Yep.
Okay.
Drathiel, Farazan. So you just got this push, this bump from this half orc trying to move you back along with the crowd, and it was inadequate.
He's going to push back.
Okay. You want to do? You talking about like actually moving him 5 feet back?
Yes.
Okay. Let's do an opposed athletics again.
Okay.
Ooh, saucy.
You bump up against him, and it may be because he's got one of his other guards right at his back.
Mhm.
But you push against him, but he's squared up. He's got a shield in front of him. He's hunkered down. He's got that lower leverage, and you don't make any headway. I rolled an 11. Your total was an 11. So
Yeah.
he doesn't move at all, and he's still very unsure of what to do at this point. But he's doing his job. He's got the shield up, and he's blocking, keeping you from moving him back.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right. I mean, I think that's. I mean, that's in terms of actions.
That was an action.
Yeah.
But-
yeah.
But remember, this is more of a skill check. So if there's something you want to try with skills while we're doing all this stuff, by all means.
Yeah. He's got a. I'm trying to think if there's any way. Can I do a perception to see what to see if these guys, or maybe it should be an insight, but to see where they are mentally as far as like getting blocked in like this. Are they on the edge of violence, or are they still kind of
Give me an
Contain-
insight.
yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
give me an insight.
Where's my insight? There's my insight. 22.
22. All right. So these are half orcs. These are warriors. They're geared up. They got shields. They got armor. But you can see that one has like a bloody nose where he took just this errant rock from a bystander.
Mhm.
You can see you can tell just by their shoulders they're getting tired by all this just constant pushing up against them. They're about to break. They're about to snap. They've all got their hands on their swords, but they haven't drawn yet. But they see that itch in their fingers and that look of this look at some. It's not like a calm riot. Like they're yelling
Mhm.
racial slurs and calling dirty, blah blah
Oh.
blah blah blah. Like all this is happening.
Yeah,
And so they, you see one of them cut their eyes at somebody that just yells something, and you just see him like grab his sword. So you get the feeling these guys are right on the edge. And honestly, the only thing you believe is keeping them in check is this sergeant is like, move forward, stay together, remember your training, don't hurt the people. But if he wasn't there, you bet you there would be some sort of fight going on.
yeah. So he'll just shout out to. Well, I guess he does it early. Yeah, he's probably needs to shout to Spetro. He'll kind of look over and just.
We have the psychological bond thing. You can just tell me in my brain.
Psychological bond.
Yeah, we're bonded.
You tell Tarathiel, who tells him.
Yeah. He'll relay that these guys are starting to get a little, a bit more on edge. So be ready.
All right.
And Farazan's gonna kind of just shout out, everybody, keep calm, don't hurt, no weapons. There's no need for further violence.
So who are you yelling at?
I mean, just everyone that works and the people around.
Okay.
Kind of keep calm, sort of thing.
Give me a. Are you trying to persuade or are you trying to intimidate? Are you like, keep calm or kick your ass? Or...
No, it's a persuasion at this point.
Okay, give me a persuasion check then.
Okay. 10.
10. Pretty average. All right. Anything else?
Yep. That's it.
Okay. Spetro.
All right.
You are up.
I'm gonna do a silly thing, but it'll be fun, maybe.
All right.
Yay.
And
Yay.
I mean, if it goes horribly, I got a quick way out of here.
You can fly. These other
I don't know if that's the same thing
modes.
Freya's on.
At least I'm okay.
Here's what I'm thinking I would like to do. I think right now my mode is let's slow these guys down as much as we can to cover almost retreat with Mavu. So this one that's like directly in front of me still looks like he's got at least one dude to try to push through before I'm, face deep in his crotch again. But this dude right next to me, I think I want to roll sleight of hand to see if I can maybe with a dagger or a quick hand movement undo or otherwise disable whatever is holding his pants up.
Sleight of hand. Sleight of hand.
Okay. Is his sword attached to this thing too?
Yes, it's a sword belt.
Amazing.
It's not
Oh,
necessarily
can I do
his pants
inspiration?
up.
Yes.
I tried to shout inspiration as I was clicking, but 17 might be good enough.
Okay, so the one in front of you, you pull out this dagger. You're you, so you're shadowy and you're kind of hard to see. You slip this dagger up and cut the sword belt, and his belt clatters to the ground. Okay. And you see him just a little, just a quick shock of terror, like I've just lost my weapon. And he's looking around, and he's going to look and see if he.
Do I need to roll stealth versus his perception on that?
No, it was your sleight of hand.
Okay, I gotcha.
And he's looking around. He sees his belt, obviously, like it's on the ground. It's fallen. He's got a shield. He's looking around the crowd, and he sees you, but he doesn't quite recognize that you're the one. So he doesn't like look at his sword and look at you like, oh my god, you.
I giggle telepathically to everyone that can hear me.
I giggle back.
Poor Tarathiel's like, get out of my mind.
This is horrible.
But yeah,
Puppet
belt
shadow.
on the ground, and he stops. It stops him for a second because now he's not one to. He's got the shield up, but you see him hesitate for a moment.
He has other things to think about.
Yes.
All right.
Farazan says, arrest him for indecent exposure.
Where are your laws now? Did you see what he did to me when I crawled between his legs under my own volition?
Oh, that's funny.
Amazing.
All right. So was there anything else, Spectrum?
Nope. I think I'm just going to stand here anticipating some of these other guards moving forward. Like I said, I think right now I'm just in like total just obstacle mode for these guys.
Okay. All right. So crowd starts to move. This half orc, I'm going to move this guy out of the way. This one pushes forward. Like the crowd is more of a difficult terrain, so they're moving through no problem. The sergeant, however, seeing that Farazan is stepped up against this one half orc, moves over. But before we get to that, this one that's directly in front of you is going to try to move you back as well. Just doing that whole riot shield, pushing you back gently but firmly.
Mm-hmm.
Give me an opposed athletics check.
Wait, this one?
Yeah. Oh no, you're right. I'm sorry. Nope. I already decided. He stops. And he's not dropped his shield. He's dropped his guard and he's bent over. He's spinning this round, like picking up his belt. He's trying to tie it. He's really just got his sword in one hand and his shield sword sheathed in the scabbard in one hand, shield in the other. He does not push up against you.
I mean, did this dude just step over me all casual like because I'm small?
Besides you, this one was right here.
Oh, was he? I thought he was I thought he was like in my square, I guess, like he was hidden by my token.
So this is the one that you. Yeah, he was.
Okay,
but this is the one that you cut his belt.
Yeah.
And this one's still just doing his step by step pushing forward. Farazan, give me an opposed athletics check, because the sergeant comes over, and he sees the question in the half-orc's eyes, and he just looks at him and said, "This is what you're hired for. Push through the crowd. We've got to get to Mavu. He's got to be put under arrest. Go, move." And so the half-orc pushes up against again.
Yeah.
And makes no headway. And he looks like he's now getting mad. He's angry because he can't do his job. He's angry because he's getting being blasted by his sergeant, and he's got this giant in front of him, keeping him from moving forward. He's got his hand on his hilt, and he's looking at the sergeant because you can see the defiance in his eyes. He's like, "I'm done. Forget this. This wasn't what you can see this idea of where it's time to get down." These others do not move because they know where to go. The crowd continues to move around. They're milling about, and you continue to get more of a separation. You've got people moving forward, trying to fight against these half-orcs who are just pushing them around. Like they're just hot knives through butter through this crowd with just their shields. But you've got more crowd around you, Alma, protecting you. They're moving up close, and they're looking back at you. They're everything okay? Is Mavu's doing okay? And they turn around, and somebody's got like a blackjack, and somebody has a little rusty dagger, and most people just have their hands, and they're just buffing up against the crowd. But there is an absolute gap now forming in this road between the two of you. And Zakad and Kazmogen do their thing, moving forward. You can see them. They're not trying to hide, Trathiel. They're just moving away from the biggest ruckus, which is really right here, right? These townspeople are moving in. They're pushing up against these half-orcs, and they're not being gentle. They're some people throwing rocks. Nobody's got a weapon. Nobody's attacked them yet. But even specifically from your standpoint, from your vantage point, and you, Alma, too, just your ungodly perception, these guys, these half-orcs in this group, have about had it. Alma, it's your turn.
Okay, so I I am going to make a spectacle of using my action to end the feign death spell on Marvu. So I'll do that. That's my main action.
Okay.
And then I will then use a bonus action to cast Healing Word on him.
Okay.
Which will regain hit points equal to 1d4 plus my spellcasting ability modifier.
So when you end this, I keep wanting to say death knell, feign death.
Feign death, yeah. I want to do it like a like a CPR situation. Like, come on, like, bam.
I'm not gonna lose another one. No,
I'm grabbing his nose and in the air, and then of course I'm adding a little bit of magic stuff too.
You're casting a spell, right?
Yeah, I'm ending a spell, which I guess technically does work. So I'll do that, and that will
Healing Word, which is like Baori, blah blah blah.
Right.
All right. Go ahead.
No, say.
Give me a deception check with advantage.
Okay.
Go, Rachel. Go, Rachel. Go, Rachel.
So scared. I think it's a 15.
15. That's good.
Okay.
So yeah, you've got Mavu laying down. You summon the power of Biori, and you cast an actual spell that heals him. And he blinks and takes a deep breath and sits up. And the crowd around you cheers. And these people are moving back away from the riot as a response. And they're looking, they're saying, he's awake. And they're starting to say, go ahead.
I was just can I still do my healing word? Or
Yeah,
I don't know where he's at, honestly.
No, you've got Mavu's right beside you.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, your bonus action, you heal. You use the standard action to stop the feign death, and in that time you're like 11 hit points. So he's
Mhm.
looking like he's feeling pretty good.
And then, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I think my next thing that I want to do is, since I have this kind of crowd of people on my side, I want to step in front of them and try to encourage them to get behind me, and kind of hold fast right here.
Where's behind you?
Oh, I'm sorry. I want to like move here, because I knew that the orcs were coming this way. I want to heal him, and he's with his buddy, and kind of come this way and be like, get behind me.
So
So I don't want anybody get hurt.
So you want the townspeople to kind of surround you, like.
No, not in front of me. I want them to get behind me so that I can protect them.
So you want them to move out of the way.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah.
as a reaction, some of them obey, like they start moving out of the way. And some of the ones that were throwing rocks and whatnot at the half orcs are now turning around, and because they're hearing this cheering, like Mavu's back, he's awake, and they're turning around to see that you're moving forward. And you're like, get behind me.
Yeah.
I'm going to protect you from all this. So
Yeah.
some of these riders are now moving away from the half orcs, getting out of their
Okay.
way. Just because there's no really room to go, they're trying their best,
Sure.
but they're kind of all around you.
And that's okay. That's just, and I'm done. That's what I wanted to do.
Okay, Tarathiel, and Tarathiel, you hear just this resurgence, this cheer. Hey, Mavu's back. He's awake. Alma's brought him from the dead and uncursed his soul. The dreaded evil, or not evil, dreaded, feared Alma can heal as well as destroy.
Silly.
Alma giveth with one hand and taketh away with the other.
Oh no.
I bless you with this hand. I will F you up with the other.
Mm-hmm.
If the right one don't heal you, the left one will.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. I'm sticking to the rooftops and continuing to follow Gazmajan and Zakat if I can.
Yeah, absolutely. No problem at all. Let me just
Let's just go a couple more rooftops down.
wrong way. I'm sorry.
Ooh.
I think I just made it dark, didn't I?
I'm in the darkness.
Oh no, I can't see.
I'm jealous.
Night falls.
Was born by it, molded by it.
All right, so you're getting ahead of them at this point because you're a rogue. You're on the roof. You're running and jumping. You have
Yeah, I
no
can
difficult
move
terrain.
90 feet per round.
Yeah, so you could actually get, way past that if you want, but if that's where you want to stay. You're ahead of them in the crowd, and like I said, it's thinning out right about where you are.
Yeah.
So you feel next round that they move through and you want to jump down, you'll be able to get in front of them and confront them.
Yeah, in that case, can I drop down this side of the building or something and just keep
Sure.
an eye on them?
Oh, absolutely. You got plenty of movement.
All right. Yeah, I'll drop down into an alley.
All right. Anything else?
Keep waiting for somebody else in the party to say, "Hey, we need you to come back here," but that's not happening. So
Can you use those spider climb slippers?
We'd
to just
much
run
rather use
across the top of
civilians.
it? Yeah.
yeah, can I
Don't
use
judge
spider
me.
climb slippers to run over a crowd?
Yeah.
Bounce from head to head like
Yeah.
oh shoot, the elf in Lord of the Rings where he's
Legolas?
bounce off the heads.
Legolas.
On the river where he's bounce off their heads.
How
yeah.
dare you?
You know, hey,
He is-
I got a
he
lot
is
going
the
in his
elf
mind right
in
now.
Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, the elf.
I was trying to think of a word today. I was reviewing a paper and I could not think of the word anecdotal, like anecdotal evidence.
Well, I
And
have no idea why.
Yeah, I stood up and I walked down the hallway and everyone I met, I said, "What is it? What is like old wives' tales or stories you hear from someone? What kind of thing is that?" And no one could come up with it. I said it starts with like an A or an E, and
Put too many people on the spot.
yeah, it was awful. And I went back to my office and sat down. I was like, anecdotal.
Gesundheit.
Yeah. Then I had to go back down the hallway and tell everybody what the word was because they were all like, "What is the word?" Yeah. So, sorry.
So, well, it's perfect timing because it's your turn, Farazan.
Oh, really? Okay. Let's see. He is.
Anecdotally.
Don't forget that you have a trouserless half work to one of your sides.
Right next to you.
Right.
May that
He's
may that
got it in
affect
one
your
hand.
every decision.
He's pulled them up and got them bound up in one hand.
Yeah. One hand is like holding the thing like the little the suntan lotion logo.
Yeah.
Can't remember the word. The one that's in front of him that's about to get frustrated, he's going to grab him.
Grapple.
Like grapple him. Yeah, grapple him, and that like hand on the hilt of his sword. And he's like, he's going to grab it and yell at the sergeant or the captain again and says, this man is about to draw his weapon. I just know he is. And it's like, I'm not going to allow that.
Okay, so let's start with a grapple.
Yep. What is that?
Athletics check.
Athletics again? Okay.
Lord, I thought that was your role for a second.
I did too. I was like, oh.
All right, so you've reached out. You've got one hand on your staff. You've reached out with the other hand. You've got him around the neck, or you've restrained. Well, you've stopped him from.
Yeah, I want to stop him from drawing
moving.
the sword.
Right. Well, you can't stop him from drawing the sword, but you can reduce his movement to 0. Like,
Okay.
he can still draw a sword. So what you've done is you put your knee up against his, and you got your staff out there, and you're holding him down. Like, he can't not move. He cannot push you further back.
Mm-hmm.
But he can absolutely draw that sword.
Okay.
And he's so angry right now that you know it's going to happen.
All right, and he says so when he grabs him and he looks at him, he yells again at the captain and says, "If this one draws his sword, I'm putting him down."
He's following the law. You're the one obscuring justice. You're breaking the law by being in his way. He is in his right to draw weapons. We're all in our rights to draw arms against you for fighting against us.
He says, "No one's fighting. This does not need to come to violence. The law, as it is." What is it? What was the thing that you said, Mike?
Anecdotal?
Yeah.
Inspiration.
Right.
Where were you yesterday?
Yeah, you think that. Absolutely.
Where were you this morning when I needed that word? Just
It was the tip of his tongue.
he says the leadership is flawed, and the rules which you are enforcing are invalid. He says in your mind that attacking these unarmed people is wrong. Stand down.
We're not attacking these people. We're moving through them to arrest Mavu. You're obscuring justice. All you're doing is delaying the inevitable.
So Farazan is going to ask in the
The telechat.
yeah, the telechat,
Psychic link.
the psychic link. He says, "Alma, how much more time do you need?"
Try
I mean,
hey, Alma, how much time do you need?
I'm good. I was just trying to get Marvu out of this situation, and I think I have, and I think I'm good. Like over here,
Okay,
but we need.
can you get him away?
Yes.
Okay, run away.
So,
Yeah.
Farazan, are there any skills you'd like to use?
If that's what I need, then if that's what I need to do.
I mean,
I'll do.
I don't think. I mean, I do want to like when he says, if this guy pulls his sword, he's gonna put him down.
Okay. How
I
about
do want to try to
intimidation?
intimidate him. Yeah,
All right, go ahead. Give me an intimidation check.
Yep. Please.
I don't know why these ladies are up on the seat on the roof.
Please.
They're partying.
No.
They get
No.
Intimidation?
So
All right.
Please don't draw your sword.
Hey guys,
I'm-
stop! Roll that stop again. Well, it's an opposed check, so let me.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he's not. He's not. Not more intimidated than he was when you first bucked up against him.
Yeah.
Let's say that, because he is obviously like your fair's on.
Mhm.
You're well known, but at this point, you haven't swayed him away from violence.
Yep. All right. That's it then.
All right, Spetro, you have a firm grasp of the situation. Everything that's just happened, you know exactly how this half-orc feels. You can see now that the sergeant is now encouraging this half-orc to, hey, listen, you've got a job to do. You're being stopped. I'm giving you permission. Is the feeling you're getting now coming from this area?
So the big question is, are these gentle half-orcs wearing shoes that have laces?
I'm going to say
That
yes.
is the big question. You're
I
right.
am going to sleight of hand two of their laces together.
Which two would you like? The two that you're adjacent to?
No, I don't know. Well, if you think I could pull off tying two of their shoes together, I meant just like, the old prank where you tie the two shoes of one individual together.
Oh.
That's
see
what I
you're
was
saying.
thinking.
Okay.
Because I'm small,
Well,
I don't need half
I
horse.
mean,
That's a
the
my
one who
wingspan's
just
like
lost
this.
his pants, who's holding his scabbard in one hand, shield in the other.
Yeah, he's fine.
Yeah, he'd be a perfect target.
No, I think that I've disabled him enough for now. I'm thinking about this dude that's gotten past me. He stepped over me. It was very disrespectful. I didn't get a check. He just stepped right over me. I'm not worth pushing apparently, so I'm gonna trip it.
All right.
Or I'm gonna try. So sleight of hand.
So you're wanting to do yeah, let's do sleight of hand.
I'm using my inspiration on this.
All right.
So I do this twice, yeah. Okay, so here's one. Was it good?
15's pretty good.
Okay, we're gonna do the other one too.
If you hold shift and click it, it'll do it automatically.
Oh, it will? Okay, good to know.
For next time.
I clicked it. I don't know that it's populated yet.
15 and a 14.
Wow,
So
what a
15's
bummer.
better. We'll go with that one.
Consistent.
Let me do an oppose. Okay. So, I don't know what your actual skill sets are, but messing with half-orcs has got to be on the top of that tier list. So you get down
loves
there,
it.
and the crowd's all around you, and he's just recently pulled his belt up. He's got a scabbard. He's bundling it up, trying to keep himself together. And then you just get down there, and you just tie a perfect little square knot right together.
Sweet. I giggle in chat again. Telechat.
And he starts to stumble, like he's not just standing rigid and still. He's moving around with the crowd, and he starts to stumble a little bit, and then he catches himself, and he looks down, like past his sword and shield and his belt and his his dignity, and he sees that his shoes are tied together again. And he's looking around, and he sees you, but he also sees this lady here who's sneering at him and laughing at all of his misfortune. And she's kind of giving you a nice little elbow every once in a while, like, winking, good job. And he's looking over to this other lady over here, thinking, how could this woman 5 feet away come down? But he still cannot quite figure out who it is who is messing with him, but he is furious.
Yeah, I'm hoping that whatever I do to slow their movement is like the worst penalty is like a stern verbal warning and not, corporal punishment or capital punishment. So I'm just harassing. I'm just being a big old prankster for now. I've got a couple more ideas. Let's see how they play out.
Okay.
I like it.
All right. Anything else?
No, I giggled in telechat. It's all good. Good
All
enough.
That's all I needed.
So the crowd is still moving around, and I'm gonna stop moving them. But there is a nice separation here. You've got people down here who are getting riled up even more by the half-orcs, who are getting angrier and angrier with every threat and every prank. And you got these up here who are like, Mavu is being, is back up. He's on his feet. He actually stands up now because this is kind of his movement. And you see him, he stands up and dusts himself off. And Alma, you see him look at you like, now what? What do you want me to do? Like, this thought process is, okay, I went along. should I run? You
Yeah,
don't know.
yeah.
He's looking at you, so he doesn't really do anything. But you do notice that he does this quick little motion, and all the blood, all the tears, all the dust, his hair, everything just cleans right up. So you can tell he
Okay.
cast some sort of spell and cleans himself up. And next to him, you see James Spader just sigh this deep sigh of relief and just yell at him like, "We've got to get out of here. We've got to get you
Okay.
out of town."
Is it my turn?
No, this is the crowd. This is the crowd moving. This is him standing up, dusting himself off. James Spader is saying, "We got to go." These guys are reacting to the fury that's boiling down here. They're moving in, and they're starting to get more aggressive. They're pushing and shoving. And then you've got Zakad and Kazmajen, who have finally made their way out of the crowd. Still people around. I don't want you to think it's like just empty. I'm just don't want to put all these people down there. But it's much, much more sparse. They can move through it full movement. And again, they're not running. You see them every once in a while. They hear something like "Mavu's up," and they turn around and look, and they're just they're just moving away from the basically from the law. It seems like everybody's moved, and it's also the half-orc's turn. So this one here turns to look at this other one and eyes you, Spetro,
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
and turns his shield towards you and pulls his sword.
He's looking at me now.
Ugh.
This
Yeah.
is the dude whose shoes I tied, right?
No, the one that's beside you.
This one?
This one here beside you.
Oh, see, this was pantsless dude, and this was shoes tied guy.
Okay, so
shoes,
I had
shoes
him.
tied
I had
was
him
the
both.
dude that had moved past me somehow.
Okay, so I had you do the same one, but you did. Okay, you shoe tied this one,
Yeah.
and he was the one that was looking around.
Yep.
But he's taken this turn to kind of look around and see, take in the situation, and he has focused on you as the problem.
Okay. Fair enough.
And he has he's drawn a sword. He is not attacking at this point, but he's drawn a sword, and he's gone from a defensive posture to an offensive posture.
Okay.
This one has tied his stuff together and sees this other guy draw a sword and draws his weapon, facing you.
Okay.
This one moves up and seeing that the other two have taken action. He doesn't know what's going on. You can kind of see he's looking at them and draws his sword.
It's so awkward that like I'm sharing space with this guy at my size, you know.
Well, you can't take up the same spot. You,
So-
you can't share. You can't share a square.
Yeah.
But you're right beside him. Like you're up in his Kool-Aid for sure. But you're right there underneath him. And then the sergeant, seeing these other three move forward and take kind of a offensive posture, he draws his sword and turns towards Farazan. This one draws its sword, and this one moves up to not flank, but to phalanx with the other one, drawing his sword. The crowd around starts getting aggressive, and they start actually like picking up rocks and hitting them with rocks and throwing rocks and pushing and trying to grab and subdue. They're not doing very well. I mean, these are big half orcs trained strong together in formation. But you can see them. They're starting to grab at them and like grab their shield instead of just pushing at them or yelling at them. So they're getting a lot more aggressive. Alma, it's your turn.
Okay, so I don't really know what the town map looks like in relation to this, but my idea is to turn to Mavu and just be like, get to Jenya and quick, like to like kind of command him to do so, like go there, wait for me. If you don't, I'll kill you. And I will make whatever
Again.
check I need to make. Yeah, exactly. I'll do it again, and he knows that I will. And if I need to make another check, I will. But that's what I'm gonna say. And then I'd like to turn back and prepare an action.
So for one thing, the Church of St. Cuthbert is like I don't know, 6 blocks away. It's between Obsidian and Magma. You're on Obsidian Avenue, which is the outer ring. So it's really
Okay.
close. Like, it's
Yeah.
really close to where you guys are. But tell me, I hear what you said, but tell me your intent. Are you trying to threaten Mavu, like scare
I'm
him?
trying
Or
to tell him that he needs to go there and he's to wait so that we can talk. Like,
Okay.
I'm not trying to like scare him. Like, he and I have
Okay.
we have an okay repertoire going on.
yeah, bond through
But
death?
he went with it.
He did. He
He's
did.
on-
He did.
he's always okay with it.
You literally have a
Um,
bond through death. Like, he went along with
Exactly.
it.
So I think I'm almost in desperation I'm pleading with him, like, go there. And like if you don't, I'll kill you is kind of like one of those things that friends say to each other, like, I'll kill you, like.
So that's what you say. Like, get to St. Cuthbert's or I'll kill
And
you.
I'm just like I'm being very serious. He doesn't mean serious. Like, go to St. Cuthbert's and wait there. Please don't leave, because I know that he's prone to leaving.
Okay.
So I'm saying, like, go to St. Cuthbert's. I'll come. Like, just go there and get out of here while we handle what's going on here.
But you say
what
I'll
I
kill
want.
you.
In the
Yeah,
way that friends
yes, I
do.
Right.
In the way that
Friendly murder
friends-
threat.
And I think that is valid, because a good friend will kill you.
All right. So
Says a
I'm gonna-
friend who kills others. So,
I'm going to judge his reaction based on the skill that you want to use.
Or- God. I mean, in my own head, it's persuasion. I'm trying to
Okay.
persuade him to
Then-
do that thing, but
then
I
we'll
have a
use-
-1 in persuasion.
Okay,
So
but then we'll use persuasion.
we'll use persuasion, and I will likely use my inspiration.
All right.
Actually, no, I won't.
Okay.
I'm good with
16.
16.
16. So,
Yeah. I'm just going to
Mavu,
tell
go
like,
to the St. Cuthbert's
Yeah.
Church or I'll kill you where you stand.
yeah.
Persuasively.
Yeah.
Okay.
Persuasively.
So you're yelling at
Didn't
Mavu,
work.
get to Ginny, go to St. Cuthbert's.
Like, get the hell out of here, man. Like, well, the tides are turning against him, so he could be able to read the room too.
Okay. So great. No, you nailed it. 16 in persuasion. So the people
Okay.
around you are actually like, Mavu, get to St. And then they're pushing and they're
Go,
helping. They're
yeah.
moving him through. Like, they're like, go. And they're moving along with him. And they're kind of giving a perimeter for right now just to help him move
Nice.
through the crowd.
Okay.
And,
And
so
then
he nods. He's like, okay. And he starts moving that direction. And a big part of the crowd is moving along with him.
Cool.
Just
yeah.
pushing
Like,
away, give him a little guard.
Kind of,
Not
yeah.
really
Like,
sneaky. They're not being sneaky.
Okay.
They're maving a way through the crowd. Like, get out of the
Okay.
way. It's like the president's got the
Yeah.
Secret Service around him, and they're moving people away to move him out hurriedly.
okay.
That's kind of the feel you get. They're moving along with him.
Okay.
Anything else?
Okay. I think, like, in my head, I had like a double plan to like have him do that and then like prepare an action to do a spell.
Okay.
Um.
Tell me what you have in mind.
Well, I think I had in mind that they were kind of coming toward where he was over here, so I was going to prepare to do like a spirit guardian situation so I could protect the entire area. But if he's going out that way, I needed to change my mind.
So, Spirit
Um.
Guardian, if you didn't include everybody that was around you, would melt the crowd.
No, I know. Well, yeah, but I can choose as many people as I want for it not to affect it. So,
Sure, in line of
but I don't
sight.
need
So,
I don't really need to do that anymore.
like
is
some
what I'm
kid runs
saying.
around the corner that wasn't part of your line of sight, like, bleh, I'm dead. I'm melted by Alma.
I mean, we're
I get
already
you.
resisting arrest. Why not
I
pack on a
understand.
couple murders? Not a big deal.
Okay, so then I think instead of preparing a spell, I will just start encouraging people to get out of here because
Okay.
it's about to. I feel like it's gonna turn ugly. So
Like,
I'm gonna just try to.
disperse.
Yeah, like just go home, keep yourself safe, lock your doors, blah blah blah.
Okay.
And I will stay where I'm at.
Sounds good. Anything
Okay.
else?
No, I'm done.
Terethiel, you're around the corner. You see them run out of the thickest part of the crowd.
Yeah, so I want to wait for them to get past and then like peel in behind them.
Okay, so do you? Okay, all right. Um, what's your intention when you peel in behind? Is it to talk to him? Is it like stab? Like, do you want to prepare an action to move behind him? What are you thinking about?
I would like to have the dagger of venom in my hand, and I
Okay.
just want to press it against Casmagin's back and just talk to him
Okay.
as he walks. If he
Like
continues
friends.
to walk,
Yeah.
You
Like
know,
friends
do.
friends
Yeah.
do.
I'll kill you.
answer my question.
We're all doing that today.
I'm learning that you guys are odd kinds of friends.
So do you want to do that? You're waiting for him to kind of move here first, right? And then move him behind him. Okay.
Yep.
All right. So this is a separate situation now. You're away from the crowd. I'm gonna go ahead and move them up because it's not gonna make a difference. They don't see you. They're not paying attention to you. They're moving through. So yeah, go ahead and do that. You come around the corner and you pull this dagger out. Is it clicked? Is it like bick on, or is it not venomy?
So that's a good question. I don't have a charge on it, but I can't remember if I spent that today. So
I don't know, but you've got
You
this.
didn't.
so I will say no.
Okay,
It is not clicked.
but you sneak up
I
behind him.
don't actually intend to actually stab him with it unless he wants to make this a fight. I just want to threaten him.
All right. So you move up
I want
behind
him
him,
to
get
know
the
that I can
dagger
get
out.
to him.
So you're there. You've got it, and you've got your dagger to his back,
Mhm.
and he kind of what you do is like he stops half a step and gets his hands up and gets really still, and you see Zakad turn and look at you, and you're not quite sure if he recognizes you or not, because thinking about your history together, it was this brief fight. He got knocked out, and all of a sudden he's arrested. You may have seen you a little bit as you took him up from the Malachite Fortress to the jail, but this was also a year and a half ago. So, you've got Casmagen, you got this dagger in his back, and then Zakad, the hobgoblin, just turns and looks at you. He doesn't do anything. He sees the situation, but he doesn't do anything to inflame it. He doesn't like draw a weapon or anything. He looks at you, and Casmagen just like, what do you want?
Hey, Casmagen, kidnapped any kids this week?
Week's not over yet. What do you want?
I want to know where my daughter is.
And he turns to look at you like he's trying to see who you are.
Mhm.
He's not making any offensive moves, but do you let him turn to face you? Or at least half turn, like where he can at least turn his head around and see you.
Yeah, I think like as he turns, and I think he turns further than Tarathiel would like. He just kind of pushes the knife just to apply
Okay.
pressure, just like hey.
All right, so he turns just enough to crane his neck around and see you. I don't even know who you are. He doesn't seem to recognize you either.
I want to know where the kids are going.
All right, listen, I haven't been a part of any kind of ring in a year and a half since I got arrested. That all got shut down. I don't have any kids.
Does the name Cage Rights mean anything to you?
Say it again for Matt. I didn't quite make that out.
Was it Cage Rights? Is that the name?
Cage,
you were
oh,
given?
cage rights,
Okay.
cage rights. So the word cage is like, I mean, sure, I've heard of them, just in passing, but I don't have anything to do with them.
I want to know everything you've heard.
Just as
I'm happy
crazy, huh?
I at some point, I mean, we're still in combat, so I'm happy.
Sure,
to
right.
talk
Like,
about
how long does this discussion? But what I would
Mhm.
like for you to do is give me like an intimidation or whatever you would like to do to persuade him to give you information.
I will intimidate, and I'll use my inspiration for it.
All right.
12.
Inspiration done well, but done well enough. So he turns around half to look at your face, and then you get that dagger just right under the shoulder blade where it there's a little pinprick of blood. And you see in his face just it wasn't at first, but now he's got this look of, okay, I don't know who this is, but he means business. And we'll move on to Farazan.
All right. So let's see. I had an idea,
Okay.
and then I started looking at other things to see if there were better ideas, and I forgot the original idea.
Is that how it goes?
So, did you guys say if Mavu had made his escape completely, or is he on his way out?
So you're right in the middle of this milieu, this kind of tense situation. Give me a perception check.
Okay.
See if you notice that he's moving out.
Okay. Perception check. There we go. 7.
7. What you heard was the crowd yell, "Hey, Mavu's back up," but you don't know exactly where he is.
Okay.
Can he ask?
Yeah.
Certainly.
If there's, through
What a
the
psychic thing?
telepathic thing.
I was just saying, I
Absolutely.
don't.
Yeah,
I
no,
chat.
no,
metagaming. I shouldn't say
no,
that.
that's not metagaming. Like, well, maybe a little bit, but yes, you can certainly ask.
He's headed out. Like,
And you could have said
Hopefully.
that. You could have yelled that,
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
"Hey, I got
it
Mavu.
does-
He's moving out."
that's valid. Yeah.
And send to the router, and you've got Tarathiel who's like talking to a half dwarf,
Taratheel's
half
having
troll
like
with
a
a knife in his
serious
back going,
ass
"I
conversation.
don't have time for this, guys. Just yell at each other."
He's turned us off. He blocked us.
Yeah.
He's like, "They're too loud."
We're sorry. the rogue you're trying to reach is not left.
It's trying to kill somebody.
Yes.
Please try again later.
Yeah, please try again later.
So
That
you
call
know
is
he's
important
moving.
to
You know
us.
he's up on
Please
his
stay on the
feet.
line.
Yeah, please stay on the line. You're important.
Your call is very.
Yep. Oh,
All
does that
right.
strike a little close to home?
It does. Cries. I cry.
That's funny. So Farazan's going to start moving back, I guess. Kind of put some space in between him and the half-orcs. Kind of
Okay.
to let them start moving forward. To see if he
Show
can.
me where you'd like to go.
Oh, show me on the map.
Yeah.
Okay.
Show me the money.
And he's gonna kind of, not push, but he's gonna, firmly, the people behind him kind of, let me back, give some space, we're before something goes wrong here. So I think I'd like to let him move to about here, if possible.
Yeah. So move the crowd is like difficult terrain.
Mm-hmm.
Like moving, they're not fighting you like an opponent would. So it just takes a little bit longer to get through. So yeah, you start, you back up, got your staff up in front of you, move back through the crowd, and most of them really do get out of your way, but it still takes a little bit longer. So yeah, getting right there would be like a full move. You could actually get here if you wanted to, but yeah, you move there, no problem.
Yeah.
And you step out of their, you provoke by doing this. And they all have their swords pulled, but none of them take that attack.
Okay.
They see you back up, but they're all, they've got the chin down, the shield up, the sword back, and they're ready to go. But you move them back, they just look at you and they let you move.
Yeah, he tells us, he's like, Spetro, give them some
Yes.
space. Give them space. And
All right.
so, and as he's doing this, he's going to yell out, Malvo is no longer here. It's like there is no further reason for you to be here, and he's yelling this at the captain still. He's like, Mavu has left.
He's gone.
He's gone.
Okay, give me a persuasion check.
Oh boy.
Unless you have another skill you'd like to try.
No, I don't really have anything. That was.
Can I back him up? Like, yeah, he's gone.
Yeah, he's gone.
Give me a persuasion with advantage.
Where's the key? There's the key.
12.
Middling again.
Okay. It's
not awful.
it's slowly increasing. You get 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 12.
Better than 7.
Yeah, better than
Hey,
7.
7's not a bad roll either. So 10 or 12.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. So you're backing up. You see the aggression. I mean, the brandished swords really kind of send that home.
Mhm.
And you got your staff, and you back up, and you're like, guys, this is enough. Mavu's gone.
Mhm. Mhm.
You start yelling that, and you hear Alma behind you, like, yeah, he's out of here. Mavu's gone. Don't even, quit doing this. And they still have their sword and shield, which at this point, actually, the riders have, once those swords came out, they gave them a little bit of space.
Yeah.
But you say this, and you hear Alma behind you, backing you up, and you see they don't sheathe their swords, but they dip a little bit, like not ready. Their posture eases just a little bit.
Took a little bit of wind out of their sails.
Yeah, like they're relaxing. Like the threat is no longer imminent. I don't have this giant in my face who will not move, and no matter what I do, I can't budge him. And I got this sergeant in my ear telling me to kill something, and he's just backed up, and he's like, "Oh, thank God, I don't have to fight Farazan." So you get this feeling.
And he just kind of holds his hand up. He says, "We don't want to be starting something."
Yeah, raptor style, like
starting something.
put your hand out and stop those velociraptors.
I think I got Mike.
It may have been singing.
Sorry.
Oh, that's it. I'm done. I feel I've succeeded this round.
There's nothing else to say, really.
I mean, what else? I mean, yeah.
Oh, Alma, do you have inspiration?
No,
No, you do now.
I'll take it.
That was pretty good.
Thank
All
you.
right, Spetro, everything that's happened, you're fully aware of. It's your
Yep.
turn.
Disengage in 5e. Is it like I can disengage from everybody that I disengage from, or is it one person?
If you disengage, you do not provoke attacks of opportunity.
Okay, from anybody.
Right.
Okay. Then what I'll do is that's just a
So,
bonus action somebody can take, right? I don't have to spend key to do that.
so
do I?
you just as an aside, you saw Farazan like back up, and these guys not really take any action. If that makes any difference.
Yeah. I mean, that's why I was checking to see, like, if I could just do the thing without spending key. And I think I could just say I'm disengaging and move.
Yes, absolutely. It takes your action.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna just because I saw that, but I'm also not as physically intimidating as he is, and I've
Sure.
screwed with at least 2 of them. So I'm just being careful.
Right. Fair enough.
So I'm just gonna say no sense of humor, huh? And I'll disengage, and I'll just kind of fly up over the crowd. And while I'm up here, can I roll perception to see if I see where Mabu is? Like while
Absolutely.
I'm mid-flight.
Yep. Give me a perception check.
All right. Here it is. It'll populate eventually. I don't know why mine is so slow. Getting into roll 20. There it is.
19. Oh yeah.
Nice.
You
Woohoo!
honestly, with a 19, you're flying. You've got this nice aerial view. You see everything that's happening. You even see Tarathiel down at the edge, engaging some people that you don't quite recognize, but he's down there doing something.
Okay. I'm gonna continue moving. What's my speed again? Like 60 something.
660, I believe.
At 850, I
Crazy.
think.
Where, yeah, something stupid.
Something stupid.
So yeah, I'll definitely it's definitely far enough. I'll just kind of plop down. Is this like darkness over here or dim light where I am kind of between these buildings? Didn't you say
Yeah,
it's like
it's
in
definitely
Cauldron?
it's definitely dim light for sure.
Yeah. So I think I'll just telepathically say I see Mabu. I'm just gonna be sure that his escape is covered, and I'll drop into darkness where I can't be seen and be ready if something comes after him, I suppose.
Okay. So the crowd continues to move. Mavu and the crowd all keep going towards.
Are they like helping him?
He's crowd
They're-
surfing.
Yeah, they're around him.
They're carrying him.
You know, like one's behind him and got a hand on his shoulder, and
Yeah.
they're keeping an eye behind him. The ones in front are just plowing the way through, getting through the crowd, and the crowd's
Okay.
getting thinner and thinner, so they're moving faster and faster. And there's a group of the half orcs. Remember, there's a patrol on each side of the city or of the
Mhm.
street. That's it looks like more they're trying to contain any kind of riot that may spread through the city versus continuing to move in. So that
Mhm.
group, along with Mavu, is moving out, and they're getting closer to the half orcs, and they don't even seem to be paying attention. Like
Okay.
their attention seems to be keep it calm, keep it contained.
Yeah. Okay.
But that group with Mavu is moving out. The half orcs that have been kind of stirring up the pot, they move back to their phalanx position, but don't get any close. Yeah, Spectro's gone. So they're there's a 5 feet gap between you, and the people are starting to move back a little bit. They've still got their swords drawn, but they're not in a position to attack. They're more in a relaxed position. They reform. The sergeant comes up behind them, and you see the sergeant start to look around, like trying to. You know, he's been down, hunkered down, getting ready to fight. He stands up to his full height and looks around, and notices that Mavu is no longer within his line of sight. And you see him just kind of under his breath talk to the guards around him, and they start to look around. They start to try to, you know, it looks like they're looking for Mavu in the crowd.
I know it's not my turn, but is a 23 perception any indicator of what he said?
You have observant, which I think you can also read lips, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
He's giving orders. He's like, all right, everybody form back up. I don't see Mavu. Find him in the crowd. We still have a job to do. Let's move forward. Everybody calm down. We're not here to shed blood. You know, he's getting his people back under control. He's giving orders, and they're moving. They're moving along with what he's saying, and they're basically, you know, one guy's tying his pants, the other one's untying his shoes, and they're getting back into their
Putting
formation.
their shit together.
Yeah, and those two are still a little upset, but the rest of them seem to be kind of regaining their composure. But still, the people are backing away from them now. They're
Okay.
the voices are starting to get lower. Fewer and fewer people are, you know, making racial slurs and, you know, verbally attacking these people. So there's a space around this guard patrol with the sergeant as they're slowly gathering themselves, but they've also moved forward a little bit, but they don't get aggressive towards Farazan. And this area down here, you got Kazmojen, and you've got Zakad, who's looking at you, Tarathiel. He's got weapons, but he hasn't made any kind of move because you've got Kazmojen dead to rights. You got like backstab material, and
I
Zakad
might not
speaks
kill him,
up.
but it's gonna hurt.
Yeah, it'll be death adjacent. And he's looking at you, and he
Do you want to meet Alma?
Oh God, come on.
and he's looking at you, and he's at this point seeing the situation. He holds his hands up a little bit. It's like, all right, yeah, of course we're put in jail for selling kids, right? I mean, sure, bad on us, bad job, whatever. Cage rights, we've heard of them, done a little bit of work for them. What do you want to know? This is Zakad, a real thick accent. He's a hobgoblin, and then Kazmojen's also. He's looking at you too, like, yeah, we've worked for him. What do you want to know?
How do I find them?
They're not in this town. They don't work like that. They work through us.
That's not what I asked. How do I find them?
I don't know how to find them.
Do I think he's telling the truth?
Give me a insight check. You
13.
Yeah, 13. You recognize that he doesn't know how to personally find him, but you think he probably knows somebody that does.
Well, I'm going to ask a third time, and then I'm going to start applying a lot more pressure. How do I find
Hell
them?
yeah.
Give me an intimidation check. Give me advantage with that. 18.
That's a good one.
Talk to the Blue Duke. And we'll see you next week.
Ooh.
It's
Spicy.
right at 2 hours. Wow.
Or I'll kill you.
It was as friends.
Are we not all friends here?
It was a friend thing to say.
You're a stick in the dark to everybody
Get outta here,
watching,
or I'll
listening.
murder you.
You haven't said that to your friends? Okay.
Oh,
I need to do better, maybe.
I need a better class of friends.
Yeah, right? I need your
Just
friend.
like, do that thing or I'll kill you. And I don't think it's like, I'm not going to actually kill you, but you're going to be in big trouble.
oh, it's so good. So good.
And I don't have superpowers in real life, so
But I still murder you.
still kill you.
Oh, it was good to be back.
Yep.
Glad you guys could join us. I've been looking forward to this. And I, to the listeners, all two of you, three of you, I've been telling everybody, like, things are about to speed up. The adventures. It's weird how these adventure paths go. Like, you get all this stuff, and it's basically level up, get to the story, and then now it's just a race to the end. So
More
from here on out, it
shall lose their pants.
Stay tuned next week to see who gets pants next.
That's the thing that people do to their friends too, right?
I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You guys aren't
absolutely.
safe.
That's just the
The
serious.
after credit scene is just like Spectro sneaking through the streets after all the chaos has died down. He goes into a back alley, finds his little stash, he pulls aside a curtain and drops a belt buckle into a giant pile of belt buckles.
It's his thing.
Later on, Tarathiel realizes he's missing a belt buckle.
Oh,
Oh, that's so
that's
funny.
great.
All right. Thanks,
All right,
everybody.
guys.
Well done, everybody.
Uh-oh. Oh,
Hmm?
well done. I was going to say, hold on. Oh, you know what? I got something.
Yep.
You ever seen that movie, The Inside Man,
Yes.
Yes.
by
Yes.
Spike Lee? It's got
Denzel
Clive
Washington.
Owen.
Denzel Washington, Clive Owen. It's about a bank robbery. Clive Owen goes in there with his crew. They get the bank under secure control. They have all the employees down in the basement, and they take all their phones and put them in a bag.
Yep.
So what I suggest is everybody go out there, rob a bank, get all these phones, and get on those phones and get onto YouTube and like
Nice.
and subscribe with every one of those phones that you find in that bank robbery to give us the good follow.
Oh,
Thank you, Mike. That was inspired by your
that's
great
beautiful.
suggestions a couple of months ago.
Good call.
I love it.
All
And
right.
as far as I know, no more breaks for a while. Everybody going to be good for the next couple of months. We're going to be able to get back on a good schedule.
Yep.
For me,
Thanks, so.
We'll put this up on YouTube in the next day or so, and then I'll have that podcasted out shortly. Thanks
Sounds
for
good.
joining us. It's good to be back.
Yeah.
Yep.
So if anybody has any questions or wants to get updates, come hang out on the Discord.
And if you don't know what the Discord is, check out the podcast. There's a link to the Discord in that.
All right. Night, everybody.
See you guys.
Yeah.
Good night.
Bye.
It's been a great episode. I'm glad everyone was here.